Today we're going to think about the impact of the hidden figures. How did the hidden figures change the world? Let's review. Who are the hidden figures? We have Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson. These three ladies worked at NASA. Even though they did most of the work, they were hidden for a very long time. For a long time, no one knew about what Dorothy Vaughan, Katherine Johnson, and Mary Jackson had done to help get an American to the moon. Dorothy, Katherine, and Mary were not remembered because they were women and African American. At the time of the Cold War, some Americans did not think that women and black people were important. This was very unkind. It was not nice. Dorothy, Katherine, and Mary worked very hard even though other people did not think that they were important. Now, people have learned about the hard work Katherine, Dorothy, and Mary did at NASA. So the women were hidden, but now they are celebrated more. How did the hidden figures change the world? Another way we can think about this is how did they impact the world? How did they change the world? When we're thinking about change, we're thinking about what is the cause and what is the effect. So our cause is that the hidden figures changed the world. So I'm going to use a multi-flow map to plan my answer. What caused the world to change? The world changed because the hidden figures, Katherine Johnson, Mary Jackson, and Dorothy Vaughan worked very hard at NASA. What happened because they worked hard at NASA? I can think of three things that changed because these women worked hard at NASA. The first thing I can think about is that these women worked hard at NASA because they proved that African Americans could be successful in jobs that need lots of math. So until this time, many people did not believe that African Americans could be good engineers and good mathematicians. But Katherine Johnson, Mary Jackson, and Dorothy Vaughan proved that they could be successful in jobs that needed lots of math. I found this information on page 3, paragraph 18. The evidence I found is on page 3, paragraph 18, and Mary Jackson fought discrimination to earn advanced engineering degrees that few women and African Americans before her had ever received. These women and the entire group of African American mathematicians at NACA had a remarkable impact. They had a big change on the push for equality. That evidence proves that the hidden figures showed that African Americans can be successful. They can be really good at jobs that need lots of math. Now I'm going to try to think of another way that Katherine Johnson, Mary Jackson, and Dorothy Vaughan changed the world by working hard at NASA. Another way that they changed the world was that they showed that women could be successful in jobs that need lots of math. Until this time, only men were being engineers and mathematicians. But now, these women are showing that women can also be good in these jobs. Now I'm going to go back to the text and see if I can find a sentence that is good evidence for the fact that hidden figures proved women could be successful in jobs that need lots of math. I'm on page 3, paragraph 18, and I see a sentence that starts with Katherine Johnson that tells me that women can be good mathematicians too. Katherine Johnson showed her superiors, her bosses, how detailed and reliable, those sound like good words, a female mathematician can be. So Katherine Johnson showed her superiors how detailed and reliable a female mathematician can be. That proves that women can be good mathematicians too. They can do jobs that require lots of math. So when I go back to my multi-flow map, I'm going to make sure that I record that this evidence is also on page 3, paragraph 18. Now I need to think of one more way that Katherine Johnson, Mary Jackson, and Dorothy Vaughan worked hard at NASA and how that changed the world. I think another way is that they proved African American women make good leaders. So now I need to go back into the text and find where it says that African American women make good leaders. When I looked for information about how the Hidden Figures were good leaders at NASA, I saw this sentence in paragraph 11. She means Dorothy Vaughan here. She addressed this problem with her superiors, with her bosses, and she became NASA's first Black supervisor, first Black boss in 1949. So this seems to show that Vaughan is a really good leader. She's such a good leader that she became NASA's first Black supervisor, first Black boss in 1949. That is good evidence to prove that the Hidden Figures showed the world, they changed the world by showing everyone that African American women can be good leaders. Back on my multi-flow map, I want to add my evidence. So this evidence that African American women make good leaders was found on page 2, paragraph 11. There are many ways to say thank you. One way to say thank you is to tell someone in person. It is not safe right now, though, to go to someone's house and tell them thank you because you might get sick. Another way to say thank you is to write a letter to someone. I write thank you notes when my students give me gifts. On Valentine's Day, I wrote a lot of thank you notes for roses and chocolates. This is an example of a thank you note I wrote my grandmother earlier this year because she sent me a book in the mail. Dear Grandma, thank you for sending me a book. By sending me a book, you helped me be able to do my reading at night. Also, I am happy that you sent me this book so that I have the chance to read it. Sincerely, Addison. I signed my name at the bottom. So a thank you note starts by saying dear someone and it ends by saying sincerely and your name. You're going to want to have at least one sentence that tells what you are thanking them for and how that object or that thing that they did is really helping you. It's also good to have a transition word like also in your thank you note that helps you show how you feel because of their gift. We're going to practice writing a thank you note to one of the Hidden Figures. You will write a thank you note to Katherine Johnson or Mary Jackson, but we are going to write a thank you note to Dorothy Vaughan. So we're going to say, Dear Dorothy Vaughan, because we are writing to her. Thank you for, and I'm going to think about what Dorothy Vaughan did to change the world. I might want to go back and look at my multi-flow map. You might remember that Dorothy Vaughan is talked about on page 2, paragraph 11, and that information helps us understand that African American women make good leaders. So I'm going to say thank you for working hard at NASA because that is what Dorothy Vaughan did. So thank you for working hard at NASA by doing blank. So I'm going to think about what Dorothy Vaughan did. Dorothy Vaughan, according to our multi-flow map, she became a supervisor. She became a boss. So by doing the work of a supervisor at NASA, by being the boss, you helped me be able to do. So I'm going to think about something Dorothy Vaughan helped me do because I'm a woman. So she helped me be able to do the job of a boss at any job I have. Also, I am very happy that you worked hard for me to have the right to, and I'm going to put a verb here, a doing word, the right to supervise. So because Dorothy Vaughan showed that women made good bosses, now I can be a boss. So I am very happy that Dorothy Vaughan worked hard for me to have the right to supervise, to be a boss. Thank you for making it possible for me to be a famous mathematician or for me to be a famous boss. Okay? Sincerely, and then I'm going to write down here, Miss Barrett, but you would write your name in that blank. Sincerely is a way of saying goodbye. Here is the template that you can use, the sentence starters you can use to write a letter to one of the hidden figures. We've already done Dorothy Vaughan, so you can choose to write to Katherine Johnson or to Mary Jackson. Use the model that we did together to help you. If you need more help, call or text your teacher or go to office hours using the Want to See Your Teacher's Face link.